Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Mep here. I want to talk to you guys about something. It's really, really important. What I want to talk to you guys about is Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And the reason why I want to talk about this because I think this is a big issue here that's been going on for a while, and especially with Capcom. A lot of other game companies do this, which I will touch on about this, but I'll get to that later on in this video. But I'm going to start from the beginning of this, or where this whole epidemic happened. I'm going to say early 2010 probably. I'm going to say before Super Street Fighter 4 was released. There was video footage or trailer of Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And what my first reactions about the game was, I was like, oh, this is fake. Somebody probably made this. And I saw the trailer, I'm like, whoa, that's just not fake. That's just real. Then, lo and behold, you saw people's, video reactions like, yo, you saw the video? Saw Chris Redfield in there? Who else is going to be in the game, man? Whole Wesker's in there, all this other stuff. People, crazy speculations. People like, I want this character, I want that, blah, blah, blah. It was just crazy. And it created a lot of hype. Because the last Marvel game that came out was Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which came out in 2000. And the reason why it took so long was because Capcom lost the rights to Marvel for making their fighting games or whatever, or using their characters in their games. So obviously there was probably a lot of legal issue, and I guess Marvel was doing their own thing and Capcom was doing their own thing or whatever. I'm sure Capcom wanted to do this sooner than later, but they did come to agreement saying, yeah, sure, buy the license, whatever, do what you want, of course. So then Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was born. Now, as time goes on for Marvel vs. Capcom 3, the development of it, you see more trailers for characters, more interesting things. They start talking about, the fighting system, everything, man. I mean, this thing is blown up like kick out of water. It was at Comic-Con. It was at, It was at EVO for 2010. It was everywhere, man. You can get your hands on Marvel vs. Capcom 3 anywhere. And originally the game was slated for release in April or May. But what Capcom decided to do, they pushed the game up to February. People got even more hyped because they're like, okay, now we get to play the game earlier than we anticipated, which is awesome because that never happens. Because usually, obviously, there's a couple of problems with games and certain things like that. They say, okay, we can't release it this day, so we'll push it back. And I'll get to that also in a minute. But, or later on in this video. But, they're pushing up. That means they're almost done with the game. They can, they're right on schedule or ahead of schedule. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be good. Then February comes, the game comes out, everybody's happy, everybody's like, it's cool. I mean, yes, there's a few gripes with the game. The button schematics is not the same as as Marvel 2, which I was disappointed with, but I'm used to the button schematics of it now. It's a much more simpler game and everything like that. But this was my whole gripe with the game. When I purchased the game, I was really hyped, and I'm like, it feels like when I was playing the game, I felt like there was something missing. Like there was, I don't know, I just couldn't latch onto it during the time. I was like, there's something missing. Whatever, I'll just continue playing the game. I still played it. It was mad fun, whatever, blah, 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 and, I played online for the first time, and I see, I'm about to play my friends, and then, like, there's no spectator mode. I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, why are there cards dancing on each other? Like, that's just stupid. There's no spectator mode. People were pissed off. The netcode was ass. It sucked. It was horrible. People complained about Sentinel's health, of how good he was, blah, blah, blah. But over time, they tried to patch it up with, they gave a patch about Sentinel's health. Jill and Shumagoroth were later released in March. But, when you download those characters, it's very funny because I don't know how it was for people that never purchased them through the special edition, because I got the special edition of Marvel vs. Capcom 3. It was like maybe like 200 kilobytes for both of them, which leads me to believe that they were already on the disc. It's just what you downloaded was just probably like a key to unlock them so you can play them. Because there was also later on in the month of, I think, March, like before the DLC was released, somebody hacked their PS3 and was able to play Jill, but Jill was incomplete. So he was playing an incomplete version of Jill, but they were already on the disc. They just had to, finish up whatever they had to do, or whatever. But whatever. Anyway, I felt like the game was incomplete. As time went on, I was like, I'm not as thrilled as I was about Marvel because it just didn't feel right. It felt empty. It felt like half a game. It felt half-assed. Like, when you release a product, you try to put as much as you can, because video game or making a game is like art. When you draw a painting or you're writing music, it's an art. You try to put 110% on whatever you're doing. And then, when you try to present it to your friend, or you try to go to like a rap studio, or you go on stage to read a poem, you try to give it your all. You try to please the crowd and say, wow, this guy is good. You know what I'm saying? The same thing with games. You want people to buy your products and be like, yo, this shit is popping, man. You want somebody to go, yo, man, I played at Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Word, what's that? Yo, man, it's the greatest fighting game of all time. Yo, I'll show you. And you get people interested and hyped about it. That's what you're trying to do when you're, making a game. You're trying to get people, hyped about it. But Marvel vs. Capcom 3 did not get me hyped at all. It was a huge disappointment to me, and I'm sure a lot of other fighting game fans as well. So, as time goes on, people are playing the game. People are finding out different tactics and stuff like that. Later on, they find out that Phoenix is one of the most powerful characters in the game, Dark Phoenix, which she is, because in the comics, she is a beast. And in the game, she's a beast. She's, crazy strong. And, time goes on. People are like, oh, Phoenix is overpowered. You should do this. You should patch that. But Capcom, they're like, whatever. Yeah, sure. Here's some costume packs, guys. Keep yourself busy while you're at it. Just look pretty. Thor, Ryu, Captain America, whatever. So then time goes on. People are like, yo, man, you released this costume pack, shadow pack, event mode, and stuff like that, which nobody really gives a shit about. Nobody asked for that. I mean, I didn't ask for shadow mode. I don't think anybody else asked for shadow mode. Nobody asked for event mode. Nobody asked for any of that. What we wanted was more characters. So what Capcom did, they made a poll system for Marvel characters that people wanted in the game, and Capcom characters in the game. And surprisingly, there was a lot of cool characters. Like Mega Man was Mega Man X, Phoenix Wright, Strider. A lot of cool characters that people wanted. They wanted Frank West, Gene from Dead Rising 2. I forgot the guy's name from God Hand. I think his name was Gene as well. But in Marvel, they wanted Venom, Gambit, Cyclops, Rogue. They wanted a lot of cool characters in the game. I really would like them to see that. So, they put that on a Capcom Unity or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Time goes on even more, probably like in June now. And, there's I forgot the guy's name, but the director of Marvel vs. Capcom 3 said he's going to Comic-Con for business. So people are getting hyped, like, oh, she's going to talk about Marvel vs. Capcom 3, or he's going to talk about like a new project he's going to do, or he's going to reveal something brand new. People are getting hyped or whatever. So after June, then July comes, a couple weeks pass, and then finally it hits. Comic-Con is here, and the news is out. They're releasing a brand new game, a disc-based game called Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 with 12 new characters, 8 new stages, and the most requested thing, spectator mode. Now, this is where we have a problem, Capcom. Now, before I get into Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I'm going to give you a little history story with Street Fighter real quick. In 2009, they released Street Fighter 4. When they released it, it had a lot of problems. The ranking system was fucked up. They did not have like a spectator mode or like a fucking like a lobby, how can I say it? Like if you look in HD Remix, it has like that lobby system like that. Like you could spectate, you could watch people, blah blah blah. It didn't have that in Street Fighter or whatever. And there was certain characters that were in it. DJ and T-Hawk were not in it, they were in Street Fighter, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, whatever. And that guy was like, "Oh, we didn't have enough time to make them or whatever." If that's the case, if I were you, I'd delay your game. I would not push it up as I I want to push it up as far as possible. I push it back because it's a game. It's your baby. It's your artwork. You know, you don't want to rush your artwork and say, damn, son, I messed up on the nose. I can't, I guess it's too late now. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. Once it's out there, it's out there. And to be honest, we're in a day and age of modern technology. This is 2011. This is not, you know, fucking 1992, man. Like, you know, these, you could pre-patch them in. You could put in characters for DLC and stuff like that. But they said, no, we'll just make a new game, which they made Super Street Fighter 4. Now it had endless lobby, team battles, tournament mode, 10 new characters, a replay channel, and it had better trial modes, a whole bunch of shit, you know, new story mode, whatever. You know, that's good. You know, I felt that with that purchase, I got more out of it than I did with Street Fighter 4. And I felt like, okay, that was good. Same thing when I bought Arcade Edition, even though arguably people say, oh, I just bought, you know, a rebalanced game or whatever. But, you know, I was looking forward to the changes of Super Street Fighter 4, even though I don't like AE as much as it did Super. But, you know, I bought it for 12. You know, it was a downloadable content. Capcom was smart. They actually made it DLC, which I really liked. And if you wanted to buy the disc, you could. But you know what? I wanted it as DLC because I already purchased Super, and I didn't want to shell out another $40 because I'd have wasted, you know, what is that, like $160 on those 3 versions of the game? Fuck that, man. That's just a waste of money. But that's the story about Street Fighter. Now, with Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, the only thing you're adding is rebalancing characters, and gameplay, and also adding 8 new stages and 12 characters. Now, this is the problem with this. Like, you gave us an incomplete game, and now you're giving us a complete game, and you want us to pay for it. That is unfair. Totally unfair. I mean, you should have pushed your game back far as possible to fix all the problems and bugs. And Marvel vs. Capcom 3 has a lot of fucking problems and bugs. Now, for example, the game was in development since 2008. The reason why I didn't show any gameplay footage or anything like that, or anything was on the hush-hush, is because they didn't have the rights to Marvel, and they're working on a new gaming engine and shit like that, whatever. You had, 3 years maybe? Wait, about 3 years to fix these problems. How did you not know about DHC glitches or Magneto's long-ass fierce punch or whatever, or Wolverine's dive kick problems and stuff like that? Like, come on. That's unacceptable in a game like that. It's so unacceptable. You know? And now I have to pay for a patch? Come on, son. That's just not fair. And I have to pay for spectator mode when you know you should have put it in the game? Come on. You know that you should have ante up the bar, because when Super Street Fighter 4 came out, that game was amazing. It had so much content in there. It could keep you busy for a while. You should have said, okay, let's ante it up. Let's put this in the game and put plus more. You know what I'm saying? That's just unacceptable in this day and age. Now, because of that, I think the game should be a downloadable content, because it's just not fair. I do not want to shell out another $40 for a game that I already have. And the game hasn't even been out that long. At least with Super Street Fighter 4, it took a year for that game to come out. This game is coming out in November. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 has only been out for 6 months. This game has not even had time to flourish yet or reach its maximum potential. How can this game expand beyond this if you just keep re-releasing the same game over and over again? It's unacceptable. It's unfair to us as a consumer. Now, I'm going to go off on a tangent here, because some people be like, oh, Assassin's Creed does the same thing. You release the game every year, or Call of Duty. No. I'll tell you what they do. What Call of Duty does is this. Yes, Call of Duty does come out every year. Yes, it is the same game like last year's, but they have a new campaign, and they fix tweaks in the multiplayer, and they add stuff to it. For example, for Modern Warfare 3, I saw what is it, like the red dot sight, you could transform it to a holographic sight or an ACOG scope. You know, that's never been done in Modern Warfare. They keep the gameplay new and fresh, and they tweak it upon that. You're getting a complete package. You're not getting a half-ass game. Same thing with with Assassin's Creed. Like with Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, they included multiplayer, and it was a phenomenal game. They continued the story of Ezio, you know, tweaking the gameplay, making it better. That's what they're doing with Assassin's Creed Revelations. They're making the gameplay better. And you also get to play as Altair. So it's not generally the same game. Yes, the gameplay may be the same. Yes, the character may be the same. But overall, the game is a new entire package. You're actually getting your money's worth out of what you're buying. When I'm buying Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I'm only buying it for certain things. For example, I know a lot of people are going to buy the game because Phoenix Wright in the game. And yes, Phoenix Wright is a great character in itself, and he deserves a spot in the fighting game franchise because that's, you know, he deserves it. And there are some questionable characters on that Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 list, like Hawkeye, Rocket Raccoon. Nova is arguable. He's pretty cool. I mean, I ain't going to fault him for that, you know what I'm saying? But we already have a Devil May Cry character. We don't really need Virgil. We don't need Nemesis. We already have a lot of Resident Evil characters. You know what I'm saying? Like, give some other people some spotlight. Nobody asked for Firebrand. I don't give a shit about him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what Capcom's thinking is. And yes, I have seen videos of people saying, like, you know, oh, Capcom has a, you know, it's been a while since Capcom made a fighting game or whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's not our fault. That's their fault. They felt like that the fighting game scene was dead, and they felt like, okay, fighting games aren't our focus no more. Let's worry about new games like Devil May Cry, Lost Planet, and Dead Rising and stuff like that. Now, I don't know sales figures if that sold more than, you know, Street Fighter or Marvel or whatever, but they wanted to work on other games, and then they came back to fighting games. That's cool. Whatever. You could take a break or whatever. But people still were playing Third Strike after Capcom made Third Strike. You know what I'm saying? They still play the game for, you know, 4 or 5 years straight. They still played Marvel all the way until Marvel vs. Capcom 3 came out. You know what I'm saying? So there was demand there. And there's no excuse for why Marvel vs. Capcom 3 cannot be patched. You could put these characters in DLC. You patch Sentinel and stuff like that. You could do it. You could put spectator mode in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. You could do it. You just choose not to. Capcom, you just care about giving us what we want little by little, like we're little kids. Oh, you did this, let me give you $5. Oh, you did this, let me give you $10. You know what I'm saying? You treat us like little kids, and it's unacceptable. It's not fair to us as a consumer. I'm sorry, I do not agree with what you're doing. I mean, and don't tell me it can't be patched, because games can be patched. For example, when Fallout New Vegas came out, that game had so many bugs. But what did Bethesda do? They patched the game. Did they say, oh, we fucked up, let's release Fallout New Vegas? Come on, son, that's just fucking stupid. Brink had problems. Its online was atrocious. You know, 2 weeks later, they fixed it. Come on, son, it can be patched in. You know what I'm saying? And as appreciation to that, they fucking gave us free DLC. See, that's a smart marketing business. They're saying, these guys care about us. They care about their consumers. They said, you know, we messed up, whatever. We'll give you free DLC. We'll work on our next game. Same thing with Gears of War 2. Gears of War 2 has tremendous problems. They fucking have 6 title updates throughout the 3 years this game has been out. They have not made a Gears 2.5. They have not done that. They try to patch the game and fix it as much as they can until they're ready to release a new product. You know what I'm saying, Capcom? It's unacceptable. I'm sorry. There are other games that have been doing this or whatever that pre-patch their games. Mortal Kombat's a game that does that. I just think it's unacceptable. You guys, the consumers, the people that want to, you guys that are trying to purchase this game, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, you should not. It's unacceptable, and you know it is. You know, deep down inside, it's unacceptable. Your money could be going somewhere else to a better game. Go buy Skyrim. Go buy Uncharted 3. You know what I'm saying? Go buy Rage. Go buy something else. Do not support this game. Do not support this game. Because you guys know, if I was a game developer and I was making a game and I felt, oh man, I need to fix something or I need to tweak something, I would not push the game up or let it be released that day. I would, to be honest, delay the game as much as I possibly can. That happened with Batman Arkham Asylum. I remember there was a problem and it was supposed to come out in June. They pushed it to August. Shit happens. I mean, yeah, it's frustrating, but hey, at least when you buy the game, it's a full package game. You know what I'm saying? That's unacceptable. And I really would like to boycott this game, or a petition or something to make this game DLC and make us buy the characters that we want. I mean, yeah, it's cool to put certain characters in the game, blah, 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 whatever. But what I don't like is you making us buy a whole new shit for just one character or two. It's unacceptable. Unacceptable. It's just not right, Capcom. And you know, the way you treat people is not right. I mean, karma's a bitch. I mean, we are your fans. You should be listening to us. You should be listening to what we want. A lot of people wanted Mega Man in the game, and you didn't give it to him. That's unacceptable. It's not good business. I'm sorry. Like, you lost half of your fans because of that. Mega Man built your franchise, and yet you're not going to say, okay, this guy helped us. Let's give him a spot in the roster. No, you didn't want to do that, Capcom. You just want to fuck around with us, take our money. Basically, what you're doing, Capcom, is going in my house, kicking down the door, saying, Mom, get the fuck out the way. Dad, get the fuck out the way. Where's your safe? Give me your fucking money. That's what you're doing to me. That's what you're doing to me. I'm going to come home like, Mom, what the fuck happened? What's going on? Capcom came. They took all our money. I'm like, I understand, Mom. I understand. And it has to stop. It has to stop. And I would like people to make a stand. I would like people to find, find any way to just deter them from buying Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Because if this game isn't successful, they're going to have to find new ways in order to make this franchise survive. Because I'm telling you right now, when game companies' backs are against the wall, they will do what they ask. For example, Sonic. Sega has been making bad Sonic games for the past 4 years, I'm going to say. They are now just getting back to making Sonic good. Why do you think Sonic Generations is coming out? Some people don't like the old Sonic, and some people don't like the new Sonic. So what do? They please both fans. You could play as old Sonic and new Sonic. So people that like old Sonic, they can play him. People that like new Sonic, they can play him. You know what I'm saying? Sega's pleasing both fans so people can buy their games. They're doing what the fans want. Same thing with Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat versus DC wasn't a good game. Whatever. I enjoyed it because I'm actually I like superheroes. So, of course, anything with superheroes, I'm going to buy it or whatever. But it wasn't true to the Mortal Kombat roots. So what happened? Mortal Kombat went back to its roots. It said, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's do it how we always do it. Make it violent. Make it bloody. And it's good. The game is fucking phenomenal. It's awesome. It's fucking pitch perfect. It's a complete game, Capcom. I think you need to take notes. You really do. It's unacceptable, Capcom. Sorry, I had to get a drink of water. But it's not right what you're doing, and you're just cheating us out of our money. So that's all I really had to say on the subject. If you have any comments or any, questions or whatever, leave it below. I mean, this has to stop, guys. It really does, We, the fans, have to do something. It's not right. They can't get away with murder here. They just can't. It's unacceptable. It's crazy. But that's my 2 cents on the subject. And that's really it. I just hope that people aren't blinded by new characters in spectator mode and stuff like that, or how good they are in the game. It doesn't matter. You're getting robbed for your money. You wasted over $100 on a game. An incomplete game. That's just unacceptable. It's your boy Meb, and I'm out and frustrated. Later, guys. Don't buy Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Make a stand, people. Make a fucking stand.